Hi guys, how are you doing? And welcome back to Dr. Bamis channel. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I will talk about how to be an efficient doctor. One thing you should know for sure is working in a government hospital is definitely different from working in a private hospital. So now, in a government hospital, there is more of specialization. So different departments have different patients on different wards. But in a private hospital, if you're the doctor on call, you're the one responsible for all the patients. Yes, some other doctors, some specialists might come in, from time to time, but solely you are the one responsible for this patient. So I would say the bulk of work lies on the doctor on call if you are in a private hospital. For you to be an efficient doctor, there are some things that you need to put in place. And one thing is the most important thing, which I'm going to talk about in this video. First of all, you get to the hospital, right? And usually someone hands over to you. Now, this is a doctor who was on call before you. So this doctor hands over all the patients to you, all the procedures are carried out. Like, it will definitely give you a summary of what his call was like, so that you will know where to continue from, where you continue your management from. Now, this is where being efficient comes in. The one thing that you need to do as a doctor is to always have your to-do list. Yes, a to-do list is a kind of list. It doesn't have a format. It's just about you taking a piece of paper, pick your pen, and then you jot down the information of your patients. So it starts with this. So the first thing you write on your to-do list is the name of the patient, the bed number of this patient, ward number, the case of this patient, that is what this patient is being managed for, and then all the procedures that have been carried out on this patient, the medications the patient has had so far, the pending ones, the pending investigations to be carried out, like virtually every information about this patient. Then you write for each patient, so from bed to bed, from ward to ward. So get to a ward, and then you just scroll through your list, call out the names of these patients, you go to them, carry out your procedures. If you're supposed to take blood samples, you take your blood samples, and then you take that on your to-do list. So we are human beings, and there's no way you would put all this information in your brain. Like, a doctor oversees so many patients, and you can't put each patient's procedure, tasks and all that in your brain. It is impossible. So this to-do list just helps you carry out your work in an easy way and also an efficient way. Now, for instance, let's say you go to a patient's ward, and then this patient is not in bed. First of all, this right there on your to-do list, you note it now, patient not met, in bed. You carry on with other tasks. Let's say you're not done with your round. This list gives you an idea of the number of patients you already covered and the ones that are yet to be covered. So now, remember that patient that you didn't meet in bed. You remember that. On a normal day, you wouldn't even remember, but because you have your to-do list, this reminds you that, you have a patient that is still yet to be attended to. And then you go back to see if this patient is back in bed. It could just be that this patient went to use the toilet or something, or to take his or her bath, and then you carry out your procedures and everybody is fine. Learn to adopt this method, and always ensure that you hold on to your to-do list, because it is very important. If you lose it, it's more like you starting all over again. So make sure you hold on to your to-do list, and hold on to it even after your call. For me, I don't discard all my to-do lists. Sometimes I just store them up in my bag, because sometimes you never can tell what could come up, and then they might refer to that particular day whereby some things were not done. And then you bring out your to-do list to show as an evidence that, yes, I carried out this procedure, I administered this, I also took the samples, I did this. And even sometimes you were supposed to carry out a procedure, and after taking the blood sample, maybe you couldn't just get the blood across to the lab. You noted that because sometimes, there are just some lapses here and there. So your to-do list helps you not only to carry out your procedures, but it also vindicates that, oh yes, you actually did this, you couldn't do that. And it also helps you to hand over to the other doctor who is going to be on call. So you don't need to start cracking your brain thinking of, oh, and again, it doesn't even make you sound professional when you're handing over to your colleague and then you're like, it doesn't speak well. He or she would even look at you like, oh, you don't know what you're doing and all that. But if you bring out your list, your colleague might even take a picture, but always make sure that you hold on to your own copy. You can also decide to hand over yours while you take a picture to keep as an evidence for yourself. As you know, this work is more of you being intentional about whatever you do. Don't be too complacent, thinking that, we're all the same. After all, I handed over to my colleague. Sometimes you might even tell your colleague some things, and at the end of the day, he would deny that you never told him or you never told her. So that to-do list is very important. Sometimes you can even write numbers. You can write all forms of data on it. Whatever you feel is going to be important or relevant to your work, make sure you jot it down. If you get to a patient's bed and something happened, maybe a patient refused a certain procedure or investigation work to be done, you note it down. This is more like your own evidence. It shows that you have done certain things and probably other things that you couldn't do due to some constraints. Having a to-do list is also a tool that helps you get accustomed to your patients. Now imagine writing down the names of your patients and then you go through your to-do list over and over and over. So in that way, you get to your patient's bed. You're not asking, oh, what's your name? Or you're not trying to glance through the case notes of the patient. But because you already have your to-do list, you have the name of the patient. All you just need to do is to go straight to the patient, but always verify. You can't just assume. Sometimes the nurses might even change the beds of this patient. So anytime you walk up to a patient, always try to verify, Mrs. So, and if she's not the one, she will tell you, oh no, that's not me. Oh, okay, really? Oh, okay, so what's your name? And then you verify and all that. So always verify the names of the patients. And it also helps you to even go back home to give reference to these conditions, to these cases, whereby you get to read more on them, on their management, and also some procedures and whatever queries that you need more answers to. It just helps you to stay up to date and also to keep tab on your patients, and also makes your work really easy. So guys, that's all I just wanted to share with you today on how to be an efficient doctor. Having your to-do list is very important. So till another time, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Have a great day.